If you've hit your low 20s and you're looking for a nice place to get experience, and you found that the Skeleton Island's too crowded and other places are just camped all over the place, well, here's a great place to go, because not a lot of people like to go here, but you will need to have a little bit of DPS. Okay, so let's take this group right here. It's not your typical group, and I've kind of made it that way. It's not the most optimized group, but it does have some of the more common characters you're going to see out here. Okay, this group is me. I'm playing level 22 Cleric right here. You're usually going to have some kind of healer. There's going to be a Cleric, there's going to be a Shaman, or whatever, but the Cleric is really key in this situation because Clerics are very good at undeads. If you've seen the previous video on how to get experience out in Skeleton Island, you'll know why the Clerics excel in this. Also, we have here Blendo. He is one of your premier melee classes, and monks can tank very well in the classic era. Also back there we have Eve Always Wins. He's a level 21 Necromancer. They also do very well against undeads out here. They also have a couple other components we need too. They have this ability to snare. So we have that snare, we have the DPS that's going to come from Evil Always Wins, and Blendo has good DPS, so you have healing. So this is a good group to have here. And by the way, just want to mention this guide is for new players out there that don't know all the good spots to go to and that may have trouble getting into places like High Keep or other good camps in Lower Guck, and so they don't have anywhere to go. So the only place they can go is get an outdoor zone like this. And in addition to that, I also like to mention that I recommend that you, as a new player, you try to stay in the outdoor areas as long as you can because they're much more forgiving, and the loot you're going to get in the indoor zone at this level isn't really that great anyway. So your priority should be to level up, and this is the best way to do it. Okay, so the camp I'm talking about is out here in Lava Storm. Let's go ahead and enlarge the map so you can see it. And there it is right there. As you come in through the bottom down here in Neculus, you can come up around the lava lake, and it's right around here in the lava lake. You got to be careful. Make sure you have Inviso because some of the mobs will aggro on you. Now we're in a position here where it's kind of hard to run away. It's hard to run into the Temple of Soul Sick Row. It's hard to run into Soul A and Soul B, so it's a little bit out of the way, but it's still a good spot here. Okay, so let's take a look at our stats here. Our stats, I've stripped this character down to basically nothing, so he will represent a typical TLP Cleric you're going to have, and also the other characters are done the same way. Let me show you. And see, he's just got his monk shirt on, and he's basically a naked character, and Necromancer's pretty naked also. And see there, he's just got, you know, cloth gloves, cloth wristband, the newbie robe, and cloth sandals. Nothing out of the ordinary. So this is typical for an early TLP. Later on you will have some gear, but the main thing, like I mentioned, is having your levels. Okay, so the keys of this game for the Cleric. At level 20 you're going to get greater healing. This is really key. It's going to heal a lot. Now this has a little bit of a focus where it casts a little faster, but 3 seconds is pretty good in my opinion. The game is very slow at this level, so you don't have to worry. You're also going to have Expose Undead, which is very key in this situation. There's a 3-to-1 ratio on direct damage to undeads only with a -50 resist. This means it's going to land every single time for full damage. We do have stun in here, but we're probably not going to need that because we're just going to out DPS him. This is another key. You're going to need calm, and I recommend you use calm just because it has a smaller reaction radius, so when you cast it on the mobs you will be able to pull them. Otherwise you're going to get 3 mobs in there. So this is a very good way to break up your camp. Okay, so those are your keys right there. You've got your standard Cleric buffs, and you've got your get out of jail free card, Divine Aura. Now what are the roles here? The monk is going to be tanking for you, adding some DPS, keeping aggro, and the way aggro is kept in Classic is by the character does the most damage, keeps the aggro. Really simple. Evil Always Wins. His job will be to add undead nukes. When we go around and we start fighting these guys over here, we're going to change it up, and he's going to have to snare. So we're going to start with the easy stuff first, and the easy stuff is going to be right over the corner here. There you go, guys. These are the burnt protectors right here. They are level 23, and this one is level 21. They vary in ranges, 23, and there's one up there. So you're going to see right here, they're all really close. If I were to pull one of them, it's going to pull the whole pile here, and this is going to get really, really ugly really fast. In the background, you do have some more burnt protectors. See, this whole area is so full of them, but you have to break them up first. Down here you have burnt guardians, a little bit lower level. You'll still get experience on them. So you can't just set up on the island and start pulling right here. You've got to pull them. And I like to work it right here because I like to pull these guys here, and you can range these guys and pull them. And then I like to pull these guys, which are a lot tougher to pull, but they're still good experience and they drop some loot. So we're going to go ahead and start pulling this. First things first, the way you want to do this, you could do it with a monk, but it's a little trickier. You have to pull them and then flop down and then wait till one goes away and split them up. But let's just show you the simple way to do it, because just about everybody's got a cleric. Remember, if you've got a harmony, on your druid, you can do it also. And I believe the necromancer also has a calm. He has rests the dead or numb the dead at level 2, and then that thing will work too. It'll also pacify for you. Okay, so here we go. We got to pacify this guy, and this guy. We got to pacify 3 of them so that we can pull the middle guy. And the trick to this is to pacify the back guy. So let's start with him. And see, it landed on him. Let's go to the next guy here. There's a little recast here. Pacify him. See, they don't have really high resistance, so it's not going to fail. This is one may be tricky because he's yellow, and that's why you don't want to come here too early. Landed. Okay, let's go ahead and let's pull this guy in right there. Okay, there we go. And so the monk is beating him up. And there we go, necromancer's on him. And you see he's not really going anywhere. Let's go ahead and hit him with the expose undead. I can pop him too. See how much experience this is. Remember, we're getting bonus experiences, and I'm doing this on a test server, so it'll be a lot less. But you can tell this is all it is. It's really easy. And there we go. And he'll be dead in a moment. Now you could probably do this with the monk and the cleric alone, no problem at all, in my opinion. But I like to bring along the necro because we're going to take these guys on next. They're also really good experience too. Look at this guy, he just doesn't want to die, does he? Wow. Okay, there he goes. You gotta be kidding me. He's that tough? Okay, so let's go ahead and heal him up. Okay, and that's all it is. So now that he's healed up, let's get ready. I'll show you how to pull one more guy here. So now that you've done that, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and start pulling the rest of them. How do you use pacify? Next time, if you want to pull this guy on the left, you go ahead and pacify this guy and this guy. But in this situation, I'd recommend that you pacify the 2 left ones first because they're lower level. They're guaranteed pacifies. And then you pull this big boy right here, and he'll come through here. So let's go ahead and start with the outside here. We're going to pacify this guy. We know the chance of success is very high. And pacify this guy here. This is how you do it. What this does, it lowers the reaction radius, so that means you can get straight pulls. We're going to pull this guy, straight pull. There we go. The other guys do not aggro. And there he goes. He's aggro. There we go. And he's on him. And as a necromancer, you can put a dot on him if you want to speed things up. You can, for example, put heat blood on him right there. And he's resistant to heat blood. Keep that in mind, that these guys out here have resistance to fire. And it looks like it's very, very strong, because the necromancer can usually always drop heat blood on just about everything. We have only a little bit of mana, so we got to save the mana for heals. We'll let the necromancer burn right through him and take it down. So we manage all our mana. You can see our mana. Necromancer's got half mana. He's got plenty of mana left. I've got enough for one heal here. And there we go. So let's go ahead and get Blendo healed up as we get ready for the next thing. So now let's get, we use our mana up all the way, and we have got pretty good experience. Out here it is about that much experience. On a TLP server it'll probably be 4%. I'd say you probably get 2% per kill. So we're going to get our mana up, because the next group of people we're going to do, now that you know how to do this, let's go ahead and take a look at what we have here. And as you remember, there's 2 more. So if you're going to pull these, the next thing you should do is wait a few minutes, pacify this guy, and then pull the guy on the left. See how it goes? You pacify the lowest levels as long as they're above green, and then you can pull this guy over here. And that's how you do it. Don't pacify him and then pull the other guy unless you absolutely necessarily have to. So I'd wait a minute and then work this guy here. Okay, you have these guys in the background. The same deal applies. You have to scout ahead to see if there are any more guys around them. There may be some like behind there. I think there's one way back there, so that's one guy out there too. But let's just say you get this camp and you work that and you're just cruising along, and your group is getting so good and so efficient. Maybe you're getting 6 people in your group, you got some friends to join you, or get some new people, and now it's time to do these guys. These guys are a little bit tricky, so we got to med up here. Let me talk about why these guys are tricky. Number one, this guy priest, he is a cleric. Notice the buffs, he has center on him. So you got these 2 guys here. If the other guy you pull is close to them, what's going to happen is these guys are going to heal that person up. So for example, let's say we pulled the fighter out here or there, whatever, and this guy's within range. He's going to heal them, and you got 2 of these guys are going to heal him. It's going to get ugly real fast because you're going to run out of mana. Now you've got this guy here. He's a sage. He's a wizard, and so that's another problem. He'll nuke you. So I'm going to show you how to pull these guys, because they're really not that bad, because they do have good DPS like this sage right here, but on the other hand, he has very few hit points compared to, say, the fighter. The priest has decent hit points, but he doesn't do a whole lot of damage. So the way you pull this is really, really key. In my opinion, what I like to do first is I like to go ahead and pull the priest out first, get him out, and then work it from there. This guy's the closest, so I would get him. If there was a fighter here and the priest was back here, well, then I would pull the fighter first. But get this guy first if you can, because once you take the healer out of the equation, this camp gets much, much easier, and you can work this no problem. So let's get a little mana up. Once again, we're going to work with calm here, but since these guys are undead, what I want to do is change my my nuke, and I'm going to change it to my best nuke, which isn't really a whole lot. And the necromancer will go ahead and use different dots on him, and the monk will just pound away as normal. So remember, once again, these mobs do have a little bit of fire resistance. Like you saw there, the skeletons, I wasn't able to land fire, but we should be able to land heat blood on these guys right here. So same strategy here. We got to pacify these guys. Now they're all yellow, you know. That means it may not work. We may run into trouble on the pacify, but it's a little bit of gamble. So once again, the levels are 24. That's 2 levels above us. So there is a chance that this can go wrong. So really, really difficult. So you don't want to get out here too early, but you don't want to get out here too late. So 22 is okay to do it. Okay, so let's give it a shot. Let's hope this works. We're going to pacify the fighter. As he's the closest, we can probably get away with just pacifying these 2 guys. Cross your fingers. Got one. Okay, we're going to go for the next one here. Remember, we're going to use a lot of mana just to break the camp. Got him. Okay, let's get this guy right here. So here comes the next spark. Get him all the way out here. Okay, let him beat on us a little. Now I got the Necromancer involved. He's going to go ahead and first things first, we're going to try to get the dot on him. Let this guy fight him a little bit. And he resisted Heat Blood as normal, just like everything out here. Got Poison Bolt on him. And you're going to wait a little bit. Now here's about 50%. So now what I would do is put on your Darkness on him. And you have this spell called Stun. Let's go for the Stun. And we got him stunned. Okay, let's go ahead and we got to DPS him down. At the same time, Necromancer should be going with the direct damage. You want to hit him as hard and as fast as you can. Because what you don't want to have, you want to get him to this mode under 20% where he runs away like that. Now he drops these nice things like Carnelians, the Goblin Toes. These are all nice things to pick up. You want to pick them up, you're going to make some money. Okay, so we got him. And see how that worked? Now everybody's going to med up. And time for the Necromancer to get some mana back. And see how that broke up right there. So you break it up just like that. Now this other guy, when you get to the point where you got to pull the Sage, he's going to stay back there and nuke you. So you really got to be careful about how you do this. So in the next phase, we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull this guy, the Fighter, or we can go ahead and pull the other priest. But you want to kind of survey the area to see just how close they are together. Take a look at this. So you could probably, if you pacify these two guys here, you'll probably get the priest coming this way. He'll probably come towards the Fighter and come out. So the best bet is to get the Fighter out there first, and then we'll take these guys out right here. Meanwhile, let's take a look at our other camp over here. And you can see the other camp is there. It's already started to respawn right there. So you can see the respawn time is pretty fast. Once again, a full group can probably do the goblins here, and they can probably do the protectors at the same time, especially at this level. So we're going to let the mana go back up a little bit. We're just about ready. And you notice how I pull all the way back to here. It's really, really important. It is a little bit of a gamble when they're this high level, because if he does resist the pacify, we've got another thing coming. Okay, got one. Once you get the camp broken up, you're going to be okay. Let's hope this lands. These guys have higher magic resist. Got him. Okay, so there we go. Let's pull him. Bring him all the way back, because he will run back towards. There we go, get him on him. And once again, you're not going to be able to land fire stuff on them. They've really upped the resistance, so they're really high on the resist. Save your mana. We don't need to really nuke here, just save it to heal. And at the same time, we can we're tearing them up pretty good. There he goes. He got poison on him. We're doing just great. See, the fighters are no big deal. Conserve your mana. And when he gets down a little bit lower, then you put the snare on him. The snare lasts about a minute. So if you have a druid, they put snare on him. If you have a necromancer, they snare him. Those are the two classes that you want to put the snare on. There you go. The snare is on him. He's in trouble now. There you go, hit mend on him, and just, that's why you snare him. If you don't have any bit snares, you got to make sure you stun or you root him at the end. These things sell for some money here, so you can pick those up now. Next thing I want to show you is I want to show you how we want to get the Sage out here next, because the Sage is going to be a little bit trickier to take down. Make sure everybody has health up. So like I mentioned, if we were to pacify this guy and then say we pulled the Sage, he would come in this way, he would come towards the group over there, and he'd track really close to the other guy. So if you want to pull the sage alone, you have to pull him to another angle. So what you have to do is look over here. Can you possibly pull him from up here? You can get a pull angle like this. So you want to pull him away from there. Ideally, you'd want to pull him even more, say like over here. Something like that would be good. You don't want him to path near the other guy. So while we do that, we're going to move Necromancer up here. Necromancer's there. And there goes our monk. Okay, so the monk is down there. He's going to intercept. So here we go. And we should have enough mana. Pop the pacify. Landed. Okay. The higher level game, these guys are going to have resistances. Okay, now watch this. Oh, good. He's far enough away. A lot of times they just stay back. And if they stay back and fire at you, that's really bad. But if you're here and you fight him like this, sometimes he'll just come right up to you instead of nuking you. You notice that his health is going down really fast. And look at this, he's a wizard. He tries to root me first. That's why I like to fight these guys, because they'll come at you and they'll just root you instead of going right after you and nuking you. If they were smart, they'd just nuke you to bits. And notice we're taking less damage here. And if you want to stop him from nuking, all you have to do is hit him with stun. And we stunned him right there. And it's about time, then you apply your snare. And the monk is the one that keeps aggro. We got the pet and the necro doing DPS. You gotta have some DPS out here. There we go. And just add more poison. Just simple poison bolt and snare, and that's all. And you can even, the necro even has enough mana to go ahead and do that and tap him. Okay, so he's done. And you can see it's pretty easy. We've hit 23 now. So once you hit 23, we do have new spells. And you can see here we have Dismiss Undead, which is even better than the other spell we had. Then let's see, so let's go here. And you're going to get to see how much better Dismiss Undead is. Okay, so that's basically it. We're going to keep going on this one. I want to show you just how good Dismiss Undead is. We'll leave the priest up there. Let's go ahead and get one of them here. Remember, same plan here. You've got all these guys here. You know these you can pacify no problem. They're blue now to you. So we've got our Dismiss Undead up. So let's go ahead and start pacifying them. And you're going to see how much this hits and just how good it is. You've got 42 seconds, so this has a recast on it. It lasts 42 seconds, so you gotta work fast. See how this eats my mana? Okay, let's hit him and pull him. Look at that, hits for 200. That's a whopper right there. 200, bang. Okay. Yeah, get that. It hits for 200. You can just blow them in half. So once you get to 23, this guy is even easier to take out. Let's get the pile on him. Look at this here. Let's fire this. Hitting for 200, 196. Oh boy. You can be a nuking cleric and just take him out. Like I said, it's really easy. Look at this here. Look at how fast it respawned. Now you will not see this guy out here, the lookout. He's only when Planes of Power comes out. He's a rare creature. But when Planes of Power comes out, he's going to be one of the nice ones to farm out here. All right, so yeah, that's basically how you do it. You see this respawned here. The respawn time is fast. Just keep going through the cycle right here. Like I said, if you got one group, you can take the burnt protectors and you can take this right here. And if you even get higher, there's a guy over here, Fire Scale Croc, level 29. And I want to show you one other spot where you're going to find mobs. If you're lower level, you can come on to the other side of the lake, but let's go down here and I'll show you the other camp. So if worse comes to worse, you can have one camp doing the camp I did, the 4 spawn there, or if you're a trio, you can do that camp. I would say if you're a duo, like a Cleric and something else, you can go ahead and you can do some of the burnt protectors over there. They're easily doable. A trio, I would recommend a trio for this unless you have ideal classes to do this. In other words, a classic can put some DPS on. These guys are a little bit lower. They're about the same but lower. Notice how you have the fighter here. Same deal over here. You can pull them from up over there, or you can pull them from right over here. And there are some down here. Look at this. So you got a total of, what do you got? 6 over here. And you got there. So this is a camp right here. You can work this camp here. These are easy to pull, pacify, and separate them, and then start pulling over there. The other camp you can pull is the one where I'm at over there. That has 4 over there, plus some burnt protectors. And really great experience to get out here. And easy stuff as long as you have the right tools. As long as you have the pacify going, you can go ahead and pull this area. Okay, good luck, and hope you guys make some big experience and benefit from this little known hideout spot out in Lava Storms.